Okay, you're good to go.
Yeah, so yesterday was an IOTA blockchain event. IOTA is a blockchain that exists for some while now, but hasn't officially launched yet. But they soon will launch their Shimmer net. There will be two networks, which will be Shimmer and Assembly. Shimmer is not a real test network. It's more like Kusama and Polkadot. So there will be real money and real trades on it. But there will be features that are not fully battle tested, and there is a chance of rollbacks, but that will also be discussed at a later point. So yeah, yesterday in Berlin there was a little meetup where some of head of marketing, for example, was there from the foundation. There were also I guess it was head of marketing of Chainlink was there. Then some people from some NFT projects and some other interesting projects. So after I drove there for, I guess, 4 hours and ate a very, very nice schnitzel, the event started. It just had I guess about 80 attendees ranging from nerds to guys that played poker with bitcoins over 10 years ago and then lost everything and just came back 1 year after 1 year and is now new in DeFi again. So very, very mixed people that were there. A lot of other projects from the IOTA Touchpoint community, which is like a incubator for the IOTA ecosystem. At first, there were some presentations from IOTA directly, where Holger talked a little bit, for example, that they currently, with some partners, built something like, I guess, a 2-meter high pole you put into the ground, which has 12 sensors in it. And it measures stuff like air pollution, weather, nutrition in the ground, and so on. And as IOTA wants to become mainly, so DeFi is a part, but it's mainly a blockchain for the Internet of Things. So that was very interesting and how it worked. After that, I think there was directly a little talk from Chainlink. After that, I hope I don't mix stuff up. There was a little bit about venture capital, which was BlockRocket. Then we had an IOTA project, which sounded interesting, called Tangle Hub. It is something like IPFS, but they said they will be way faster. And solve some other problems. Overall, who is interested in IPFS and decentralized storage should look at them. Sounded quite interesting. Other projects were, for example, RaveSpace, which is a metaverse, NFT metaverse. Then we had Style Protocol, which is how do I describe it? They offer a service to bring your NFTs into any metaverse, and there will be something like a marketplace where you can hire people to make your current NFT in the same style as certain metaverses, because some, so to say, look like Minecraft, some look more realistic, and taking something hyper realistic and putting it into a Minecraft landscape might look a little bit strange. So
So it's kind of like adapting the other NFTs to the current metaverse environment, almost. Like,
Yeah, and there will be something like a marketplace between creators and people that have those NFTs and are in those metaverses, so that they can hire people to create something for that. Also like um, rentable NFTs and stuff. I also talked a little bit with the CEO, and I guess I exchanged later a lot of contacts, a lot of people asking about my LinkedIn, and I just told them that I didn't
don't have
have
one.
it.
Don't have one.
Yeah, but yeah.
Mm.
Then who else was there? Let me check my mobile phone. So during presentations, I just made some notes with who I want to talk to. So what do I have here? Hello, Nick. Yeah. Yeah, there were some other NFT things as well. Then there was also a talk from Tangle Swap, which was quite interesting because me and Ambrose already chatted for a few months now with them, and to actually now meet them in person. I guess one was from Spain and the other one from, oh no, I have to lie, from Britain.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, two very nice, cool guys. Talked a little bit before the whole presentation with them. Then they made a little bit a presentation about their upcoming decks. Um, and afterwards there was another panel of multiple persons talking about the NFT landscape. Very interesting that also NFT projects themselves said, yeah, they're not really investing in NFTs. Uh, yeah, interesting for those people to say that, but yeah. I guess the overall tone was most NFTs are still just pictures people buy to hope that other people also want to buy them to
The only ones
sell
that
them for a higher price, and then the next person comes and it was sold for $10, maybe it's worth $12, and yeah.
the only ones that I've seen on that I have a Sooniverse kind of thing, where there's like the NF3 things and the Tangle Swap ones, and everything else seemed like, it's nice. I bought like a $12 bonsai tree, but besides that, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Afterwards, actually at the end of the NFT panel, I was already going out into it was the garden, but I was going outside and already starting a little bit with networking, talked a little bit more with Tangle Swap, and afterwards, there were so many persons. Another blockchain developer I talked a little bit with. Um, I always tried to. So there were also free beverages and food, but actually the food was given out after the NFT panel, and I was so much into networking all the time that I missed grabbing some nice wraps, or there were really cool donuts, but yeah, I didn't get any. I could have also drank some free beer or champagne or water or tea, but I wasn't there to drink and had to drive back again, so no champagne for me as well.
You
Um,
poor bastard. You poor bastard.
yeah, and they all looked very tasty, but like I said, so I really ran from one person to another and tried to talk with everyone. I talked, like I said, a lot with Holger, head of marketing from IOTA Foundation. I told him about our idea to make a interactive learning area, which actually won't just feature our site, but also, for example, how to use MetaMask, how to use the IOTA Firefly wallet, how to make your first transaction, or to present some stuff like letting users do their first swap with some test tokens, then staking them, and a fast forwarding contract where you stake 100 and you get 2,000 out, and then you shall swap it back, but see that you actually get less back than you put in, even if you got more tokens, to already show and teach them that having more tokens doesn't mean more money, and thereby having higher APR doesn't mean earning money, but can also mean losing money.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he found it very, very, very interesting, and told me I should talk with Christian. But I saw also from Touchpoint program. I guess you've already chatted with him a little bit too, with Christian Sauer. Adam was there, but I haven't seen him. I
Yeah.
was also told to talk with him.
Yeah, I talked
Then,
to Christian
yeah.
about so I was talking to one of my friends, Abdullah Rangunwala, who's a crypto consultancy guy. He was interested in getting one of his projects on IOTA, and he wanted to kind of get introduced to the Touchpoint incubator as well. So that was interesting.
Yeah, so then I guess I went out again. There were two guys which are doing so they are currently doing like a data aggregation for real estate.
Mm-hmm.
And they also later want to offer it as a service. So what they actually want to do is sell real estate, but like with our normal DeFi investment, you normally don't see what the APR over time is. You just see the current APR. Same with price. Yeah, you can see price, but you also can't normally see if you out farm price loss. So you're just missing statistically data that you need to make good investment decisions. I told them about my side and that we already have that, so they were also very hyped about that. They are doing the same, so to say, for real estate, because also when you want to buy it or rent it, get a share of the dividends, you also need to know what you are actually buying and getting those data. Talked a lot with them, and we were very on the same level, as they also prefer lower APR but safer asset instead of I don't know, whatever shitcoin with 1 million APY. Um, During that talk, a guy approached me and just gave me the hand and said, "Oh, hello, Nico." And yeah, it was Christian. We talked a little bit about the learning area, and he also told me to talk with Adam. But I haven't found Adam there. I guess afterwards I talked with Holger a little bit more, where he said that he finds our homepage quite cool. Afterwards, I talked with the Style Protocol, so which, like I said, these NFT metaverse bridges, and talked a little bit about our upcoming NFT 2.0 stuff and about bridgeable NFTs that he was actually quite interested in. What else did we have? Afterwards, I talked with some venture capital guys, and I guess that was all. Then it was already, I guess, 11:30 p.m.
Yeah.
Me, the friend I drove with there, Tangle, Swap, Holger, and three other guys were the last guys in the room, so we all left together. I was invited to go drinking with them, but I told them no, I still have to drive 4 hours back home. They all didn't believe me and said, why aren't you sleeping here and you can't drive back now? 4 hours, that's crazy. But yeah. So I got back into the car, drove 4 hours back, and I guess at about 3:30 a.m. I was back at home. Was a very long day, and
Yeah.
still looked a little bit at what I have to code today, and woke
Yeah.
up and started working again.
I bet. That's crazy. I mean, you had an eventful a big eventful day. Talking protocol leadership, heads of marketing for foundations. I assume some investors. Crazy stuff.
Yeah, I still have to come back to all those contacts I made yesterday, and yeah, I'm not good with names, so actually they all just I don't have Telegram at my mobile
Mm.
phone, so actually I just told them to write me and please with their name and who they are, and as I all just have the Discord version, yeah, now I see people that wrote me and. I guess next week I will have a lot of follow-up meetings with
Yeah,
all of those guys.
yeah, for sure. If you need me to help it out in any way, make a document of just a list of people, I can do that as well.
Yeah, we can check that out soon when I give you the contact as well and talk a little bit more also with Umbers and so on.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, other than that, I guess I still could do a little bit more of a teaser of the new UI. Where
Hmm.
is it? I guess here.
The new UI will probably be really cool. Yeah, let's go look.
Yeah, it's just two new controls I wrote as a test framework, which is a new control to overall select token or NFT, like the button already says.
Mm-hmm.
So I can select tokens and whatever, select this token and then see, oh, Vimatic token ERC20, or I select an NFT. Now it loads and let me select some wood. And now I see it's an NFT and it's an ERC1155. That will be needed for our escrow service so that users can open a dialog and pick what asset they want to add to the trade basket and
Mm-hmm.
then input the amount. So this is one of the other controls. It's not fully finished because I not fully like how it looks. It has different styles. Like I don't need the max button. I also can disable it. I think I still want to add something like the token label here or to the left. Yeah. Other than that, either I can click max here, or I guess I can. Where
Mm.
is it? Or I can click it here. But just a little token amount input, or something like that. Have to check if maybe there's something new at the escrow. Yeah, I mean here you can. Yeah, if I want to make a new trade with someone, I can just input his wallet address. Here you already see our new confirm dialog a little bit. I will reject it for now. Yeah, error. I know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, seems there's a bug.
Oh,
Um,
good find.
Yeah, I guess there will always be. It's still an early version,
For sure.
and the Polygon RPC still. I don't know.
Mm.
Okay, here it is. Yeah, you can delete escrow. You can delete escrow trades, for example. Or here I'm trading with one of my other wallets. Yeah, here you will be able to add more items to your own offer or to confirm the offer of the partner. If both parties have confirmed, then those here will turn green, and I guess there will also be a new symbol. Afterwards, you can execute the trade, and you already see here $0 in Matic. There will be a small fee. The fee will always be pegged to a dollar amount, and I guess actually on each blockchain I want just 50 cent to $1 or something like that. Seems like a fair amount and not something like OpenSwap that wants like 2.5% and whatever. So it also doesn't depend on volume or amount, and you see you can already trade multiple things in one trade. Yeah, I made a little bit of visual bug here, so
That's a lot of USDT.
USDT, USDT just has, I guess, 6 decimals on Binance Smart Chain. And when I made the test, I actually interacted with the blockchain and I input a one with 18 zeros, not thinking that USDT just has 6 instead of 18 decimals. So yeah,
Yeah.
With as it works. And now normally if you click here, it's still not ready, but you already see here is the select dialog. So he will be first of all able to, what do you want to trade? Under it there will be an input of the amount you want to trade. There will be, if you edit it, also something like a delete button, so that I can remove this item from the offer basket. And very important, if you use OpenSea, for example, normally the first time you try to sell an item or interact with it, you first have to approve it once to the OpenSea contract. So here will also be something like a check if it is already approved or not. If it is approved, then fine. If not, click the button, wait a few seconds, and you can confirm it all. And yeah, when both parties confirmed, you can just click execute trade, and whoever clicks it pays a small fee, and afterwards your trade is done, and that's it.
Very
So
nice.
also just a very small update. I guess later you will also be able to, so it's already in the code, but not viewable yet. Something like when was the last interaction of the trade partner, or in the overview, you will also be able to input the address of someone else to check his trades. And this is currently just a list of my active trades, but you will also be able to see all completed or canceled trades of someone, so that you can also see if he is not a good trader and his trades are often canceled, or so if it is a time waste to work with someone, or if he has done a lot of successful trades. Also for debugging, or if you want to see historically what trades you did with whom and how much you traded, to have a proof of it, that will always be possible. So later he will also be something like completed trades, and he will also be a list. You just can't delete it. When you click on it, you will see a report of what you have traded. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that is also it for the escrow service that I actually want to finish this weekend and let some people test it, and then there will be a community I already talked with, which will be as part of the Sunflower Land community. There's an unofficial trade server, and I will let them test it out. If it works, I will open it for way more NFTs and other stuff, so people can apply to me so that their projects get listed here. As I need some info. Later you will also just be able to, I don't know, add tokens by contract, or NFTs by contract. Yeah, and overall, after tests are done and I've made some improvements, this will be another service that adds a revenue stream for moonholders. And to give some numbers, for example, the trade server from this one project, which is also just an unofficial trade server, and just a very small part of the actual community from this one game. I guess they are still doing about 500 trades per day, and those are all peer-to-peer trades. So there's always the danger of scams, and it's not very easy to make those peer-to-peer trades. I will further improve the UI, for example, that you can pay with one wallet, but can also say I want to receive my stuff at another wallet, so that all of these steps are done with one click, and way easier to manage. And yeah, let's say 500 trades. Let's say we actually get all 500 of them, and get $1 of them, and not work with any other community or NFT projects or on any other chain, which we will do, but just to give an example. So 500 trades will be $500. $500 that will be quite the nice boost already. It would be in theory 15K per month. And these 15K, I either we do it like normally and do 50% into Moon liquidity and 50% into the pool. But I guess to lower the initial risk to buy Moon faster, I guess there will be a proposal if until break even, we put a way bigger chunk, if not all, into Moon liquidity. Because if we reach the 50-cent break even point, then yeah, the risk will be quite low. And yeah, I mean, 15K per month would be already 180K per year, which alone would yeah, let all people break even. I guess also version 2 investors and even people that bought Moon at 75 cent should be very near their break even target. So yeah, that could be a very huge boost for tokenomics as well.
Yeah, so it seems like you got a lot of things in store, Nico, that will help Moonball out. Or, yeah.
Yeah, I also have to talk still about all those contacts you gave me. I still have to talk with, and
For sure.
I just saw Gold Dog joining in here. By any chance, Sapphire, have you seen what Sweet Toxin made with our debt framework already for Goldmint?
I saw a slight teaser, but I haven't seen the entire thing. I was going to talk to him today.
It is just, I guess, for now a small teaser and also not with the Goldmint colors, but actually, I think it already looks quite cool.
Okay.
So
I'm going to pry it out of him. I'm going to pry it out of him. Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, I'll talk about Sweet Talks in a bit later, but yeah, I think you have a lot of stuff in planned in Nico, from the. Well, I actually just joined your team, so I don't even know what's specifically secret. I know there's not many secrets with you guys. You like to be incredibly open with your community, like the vaults that you're making for the reason why you kind of. I guess you're talking to Tangle C and Tangle Swap for something, right?
yeah, yeah. The only thing is that there will be, it seems like, two Shimmer um, chains. One will be, so to say, the EVM chain, and one will be the non-EVM chain.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point, there will be just one, and they will be interoperable. But until that point, I think there will be two chains. But so Tangle C will launch at the EVM side. Normally, Tangle Swap will launch at the non-EVM side. So we couldn't make vaults for them. But I already read a little bit about it, talked a little bit with them. I think they will also launch on EVM side as well, which will be quite interesting because then we will directly start on IOTA with yeah, the two major dexes
Mm-hmm.
and have votes for them in an official partnership, which could also be very, very huge and boosting Moon a lot and giving a lot of revenues to holders as well.
Yeah, for sure. So one of the things I also asked, you mentioned this in the past, that to test the UI, or the kind of the new V2, one would have to have a specific amount of Moon token. Is that correct?
Yes and no. So the UI will be fully public from the start and testable. Just the smart contract part, um, people can see it, but in the starting phase, when they are first ready, just certain moon holders are whitelisted at the start. So the first phase will be something like a white listing phase where just a few people can interact with them. Afterwards, it will be changed to all moon holders that I guess hold about 1K moon. And afterwards, it will be fully public, and I guess that will be for some time until we think it's battle tested and audited, and then yeah, I
Who?
guess there will be a small migration to a release version where I guess users won't have to interact. Maybe they have to do a small withdraw and redeposit, but then we will disable the withdraw fees for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I'm actually curious. As far you mentioned audits, who in this space do you view as kind of trustworthy audits? Like organizations, like some people were telling me Consensus or Open Zeppelin or Brew Labs. Some people mentioned Certic or OX Guard. Who?
Yeah, definitely not Certic. I'm 100% sure of that. Um, we will definitely look at Brew Labs again, and I really liked their audit, but one audit won't be sufficient. Afterwards, we have to look a little bit around. There are also Consensus, like you said, Open Zeppelin. There's also something like Trail of Bits or not good with name. I think there is also in theory Paladin and Obelisk.
Mm,
But overall, what we have to check at that time and point is mainly the very big, very good need a very long time to audit, not because they are slow, just because they have already so much to do that normally you need to 3, 4, 5 months in advance have to
yeah.
talk with them to get a spot.
And this was for who?
Um, for Trail of Blitz, for Paladin, for all of those I currently talked about. For Paladin, we have to check a little bit, as I heard rumors, or I heard, and those are not rumors, that they have audited a few projects that afterwards were exploited. But yeah, sure, exploits always means that there is someone smarter than the average coder, and so it's always hard to find those. But there are other projects, other auditors that have a better track record and yeah, don't have exploited projects on their list.
Mm-hmm.
But we have to check. It's always a question of who also has time, because it's also not good to say, hey, we just want the best ones and now wait 5 months to get it audited, and until then we don't launch.
Mm-hmm.
Or to find someone that is also very good, maybe not as good as those, but therefore we can get the audit way earlier and can be sure that we can at least slowly start. But yeah, overall, I want multiple audits, because you never can have enough security. And as Treasury allows it, I actually want to do it on a more regular basis. So if the Treasury fills enough, would be actually quite nice to do something like, okay, maybe we already had 2 audits, but then we wait half a year and say, hey, we want another company to audit it. And then after another half a year, maybe, hey, let someone else look at it. The time distance would be because as the space grows, also the number of attack vectors, known attack vectors and exploits grows. So sometimes having a little bit time in between also means that the auditors have learned more or know more about new threats, and can find something they wouldn't have found a half year ago. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. I would agree. Sounds reasonable. Um, I have nothing else to add. Maybe someone else in here wants to speak up and say something, unmute themselves and say hi. Hmm.
Hello. I
Hi,
just wanted to say I'm so happy to see more people from the German-speaking countries making projects. So happy.
JPEG.
Yeah. Was quite
Yes.
interesting yesterday at IOTA that at the start everyone was talking in English, and then you always looked at the others and then switched or used a German word and oh du sprichst auch Deutsch, and
Yeah,
then
tatsächlich, yeah.
yeah.
No, so I'm very happy, man. Hopefully we can have a private talk someday about your journey in this space.
Were you there as well yesterday?
Oh,
No, unfortunately not.
yeah.
I guess they have those conversations more often, those events. So actually, I can't always drive to Berlin. Was a long drive, but I think it would be cool to be there more often. And maybe, hopefully, I have to talk a little bit with IOTA, but maybe next time we will hold a presentation
Awesome.
as well.
No,
Yes.
Vienna to Berlin are cheap flights, so give me a shout whenever a new event is. I will
Yes.
come back.
I actually I have fear of heights, so if I don't have to fly, then I drive, and I actually love to drive. I really love to drive,
German
and I mean,
Autobahn.
yeah, I mean, and it's from Lower Saxony, so I have to drive over the A38, and it's just 2 lanes, but normally there is nobody there, so yeah.
I lived in Niedersachsen.
Yeah, see, so my Hyundai still gets to nearly 200 kilometers per hour, so it is quite a flight as
Fun
well.
enough.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fun enough.
JPEG's a great guy. You know, he's a community manager as well. Very nice dude. Yeah. Oh,
Thank you. This is all I wanted to say. I need to go to my things again. Have fun, guys.
Okay, goodbye.
see you later, JPEG.
Bye.
Yeah. So
Otherwise, to those that are still here, there are still slots open for scholarship at Hi-Fi. So if you want to try out their site and also want to earn free money, then just tell me. I just, for example, see X-Raider in here. I don't know if Umbers has already given you a spot. Otherwise, tell me. Then now I'm back here, so I can give you a spot again.
nice. Let's see what else can you have. And I know this is. I assume it's more secretive of what NFT 2.0 is. Any kind of hints you can give us on that, or like
Yeah, NFT 2.0 is on actually NFTs. It will be so what are NFTs? NFTs are tokens that have metadata attached to it. Some NFTs, non-fungible tokens, are non-fungible and thereby unique, but they are also semi-fungible tokens. So ERC1155, for example. But in the end, it is a token where you can attach an URL to, and on this URL in the internet or on IPFS is a file that describes how it looks, what it contains, a little bit more info about it. For example, here you say something like, where do I have it? Modals, select NFT, something like, okay, there is a token called Sunflower Land, and token ID 201 has this image, and the name is Sunflower, and it has 18 decimals, and I don't know, sometimes there's something like the traits or rarity attached to it. But in the end, I mean, in theory, it would be interesting to attach metadata to anything. It doesn't have to be an NFT. I mean, I could attach metadata to a wallet. So, for example, imagine there is a contract that allows me to flag another wallet as a scammer, so that if I am on OpenSwap or on, I don't know, any other site, and want to interact with this wallet or with this contract, I see that they're flagged as not trustworthy. I mean, we all see that if you are connected on a website, for example, this one, Remix, then we can see the SSL certificate, and oh, the connection is secure. But now I ask you the following thing. Over the last few weeks and days, there were a lot of hacks happening where not the smart contracts were actually hacked, but the front end were hacked. And when people came to the front end and tried to make a swap, for example, they were asked to approve a transaction. And normally it let me do a transaction quite fast. What can I do? I make a compound here. Polygon sucks again. Wonderful. Or is it this time my MetaMask? Sometimes it also. Yeah. Oh, now it pops up. Yeah, seems. So normally what you see here in the top right is smart contract you interact with. You can actually just click here and check it or view it on the blockchain and then partially say, oh, okay, it's a vault ship, it's the right contract. So now I'm asking myself, can't there be something like a trusted register of smart contract addresses where I say, okay, this smart contract address is trustworthy. And now if I open this dialog, then maybe here could be a big fat warning that says, warning, you're trying to interact with a non-trustworthy or non-certified smart contract. Because then those attacks could be prevented. And so what NFT 2.0 will be is to either attach metadata or functionality to a wallet address, to a contract address, to an NFT, or to the owner of an NFT. For example, you could say the holder of a certain NFT is admin of Moonvault. And I wouldn't have to interact with each of my smart contracts and transfer ownership or check in the smart contracts who is the current owner. I could just pick this NFT and transfer it over to another wallet. And then the owner of this NFT, the new wallet, is automatically the owner of Moonvault. It would be way easier to track these informations or to transfer ownership or even to transfer funds. So
that's actually incredibly interesting. Like,
yeah.
So in theory, let's say on this NFT you had enough the data to say have the ownership of Moonvault, of another protocol as well. It would just kind of be tied to it, and you wouldn't have to kind of go through the minutia of dealing with multiple smart contracts.
Yeah. So overall, what NFT 2.0 will be, we know all that there are decentralized apps, and I don't know a name yet. Let's call it chain apps, and there will be something like a chain app store. You know it from the normal app store on iOS. You sometimes have the official store, and you can add other trusted stores where you can add or access apps. So there will be something like a Moonvault trusted apps store, and we will have a multi-sig app, something like a data attachment app, where, for example, I could store that I am an organ donor or that I have diabetes or that my last will or something like that. Or I could, store money into an NFT and just transfer the NFT to someone else. There are a lot of use cases for NFTs and other stuff, which is actually just having something that is uniquely identifiable and gives this person or contract certain functionality, permissions, or attach metadata to it.
Yeah, that's great. That feels like it would solve many issues or prevent some, at least be more secure in some aspects and offer more information.
Yeah, I think so as well. I mean, we are not there in the future yet, but imagine a future where blockchain is actually fully adopted, maybe where you can even have your last testimony on the blockchain, I know of a few personal friends which where the father died and the stepmother prevents access to the building where the father has the testimony in.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, his children are not even allowed to search for the testimony, and she denies access to it. If it would be on the blockchain, there is no way it can get lost or destroyed, or you have to search for it. Same as if you have medical data, like if you are an organ donor, if you have some stuff that you are not compatible with, some certain drugs, or if you have conditions like diabetes. And sure, if you're in a burning car, then there's nobody saying, "Oh, can you please go back into the burning car and search for his wallet? Maybe he's an organ donor." But if I do something like an iris scan and there is maybe a centralized, um, yeah, something like Google where I just say, okay, this person is connected to this smart contract, and then I can directly see and access that he is organ donor. That could be an easy and safe way to access this data.
Mm-hmm. I would agree. One last question before I run out. Can you explain V2 for the auto compounders themselves? What's the strategy for the rollout for phase 2, which would be V2, and the white paper it mentioned V3 or phase 3?
I haven't fully understand what's rollout plan is. What, or
Oh,
what?
the plan. What's the difference between the V2 and what you're planning to doing the next step forward, which would be V3?
V2 is just that the user can adjust how much he wants to compound, and the remaining percent is converted to stablecoin and sent to a bank account where he can claim at any time or withdraw at any time. And actually, V3 is just a service additionally atop on that, but it actually doesn't interact with Vault, but in this case with the bank. So what you can do, like with a normal token, is you can give someone allowance to your bank account, and then the contract or the wallet could withdraw money from your account. So there will be a series of contracts, which I call strategies, and users with V3 will be able to click together a workflow of these strategy components, and then can either run it manually by just say, I want to run my strategy A or my workflow A, or they can provide us gas, and you could config something like I want each 12 hours to run my workflow A, and this workflow will be made up of a list of strategies. One strategy, for example, is just transfer X of token Y to wallet Z. A very simple use case is, okay, I now get all this money, these stable coins in this bank account, but I'm still afraid that someone might steal it. So what's better than just having it automatically transferred for you every day at 12 o'clock without you doing anything? You just provide gas and that's it. And each day at 12 o'clock, you get new money in your wallet. We all know it's not your wallet, it's not your money, but now it's in your wallet, so it is your money. Another strategy, which will be just very simple, buy me more of the gas tokens. So if you're lazy, you don't even have to provide more gas to the contract because it will automatically use your funds to buy more of the gas token.
Mm-hmm.
Another strategy will be swap token A to token D, or add or remove liquidity, or stake into a vault. So I'm a lazy investor. What I could do is use 20% of what I daily make to convert half of it to BNB and the other half to, oh no, let's make another example. Half of it to PAX-G and half of it to Goldmint, and then make a Goldmint PAX-G LP and automatically stake it in the vault. And then the remaining 80% of my stable coins, I want 20% of that automatically transferred to one of my wallets. And the remaining 60%, I don't know, buy me 10% of BTC, 10% of ETH. I want some Phantom, some One, and it will automatically build your portfolio. And if you want, also directly send it to your wallet. So in the end, yeah, just stake in the vault, sit back, and build a resource workflow model, and see how your portfolio builds itself without you having to do anything. So you will save a lot of time. You don't have to explain as much transaction to your accountant, because actually you don't do any transactions after a certain time. You just receive money, and yeah, you also take the emotions out of it. I mean, a lot of us just daily watch at all these charts and transactions and have to spend a lot of time to manage their portfolio. And if we can make that easier, we all have more time for the important stuff, which is, I guess, everything outside of crypto, so real life. We all just want money, so we have more time to do whatever we want, and we spend so much time with crypto to have more time for everything else in crypto,
It's
which is,
very
yeah,
counterintuitive and like defeats the purpose of trying to make more money.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So my brother made a very good point once. Your investments should not consume you completely. If you're looking
yeah,
at the entire day trying to make more money every single waking hour, 24 hours, 24/7, you're doing investing wrong almost, you know. And this is a guy who's vice president, like executive for Wells Fargo and formerly Bank of America. You know, he does not. He likes to enable his life rather than like have it consume him.
yeah.
Yeah. So one thing I did want to ask: when you say a bank, can you elaborate what you mean by the bank that directly deposits in your account? I'm interested.
Yeah, I can. Actually, I can. No, let me check.
Like, that's my last question because I was interested. You said it was depositing stables, and I got kind of confused what you meant by bank. Unless you meant like an
Yeah, it will be a smart contract where you actually just have a deposit and withdraw function, and
ah.
you have a transfer, and actually it will be something like a token contract, but it just doesn't manage. So a normal token contract just manages its own tokens balance for its users, and this contract allows managing the balance for multiple tokens in one contract for multiple users. So you can deposit tokens into it, or someone can deposit tokens for you, and you can withdraw tokens from it. And if you give someone else allowance, he can also withdraw tokens from your account, and then people can make interbank transfers. So I can transfer from my bank account to your bank account, but again, it will be just smart contract where you
So
have
it's like
money and tokens inside.
it functions as if it was a kind of a normal bank, you know, or a simplified
Yeah,
kind of bank model, you know, where you have multiple accounts in there and people have different accounts. You can transfer between them, but it would be a smart contract, and you'd be transferring stable coins and can allow others to interact with your account if you give them allowance.
yeah, right.
That's very neat. That's
Actually,
incredible.
it will be just like a wallet as smart contract, and we don't directly send it to you because yeah, it is harder and more expensive. And with this, we also have the functionality to um, enable our version 3 more easily, way more easily.
Yeah, that sounds great. I mean, it would require, you know, people to implicitly trust Moonvault. But you've been doing an excellent job, you know, for the community that you currently have. You know, you've been doing an excellent work engendering their trust. You know.
Yeah, and I mean, we can't, with V3, we can't automatically access your funds. Again, you will have to click and approve a transaction where you say, hey, version 3 is allowed to access my BUSD. And if you want, like with a normal token approval, you can just go there and say, I want to disapprove. The only advantage actually is, do you know which token you have approved?
Yeah.
There are sites for it, but it's actually quite hard. And if there is a shitcoin or a new contract, it's not always easy to find which token you have approved for whom and who not. And it's not easy to find out if you don't know how. And not all these websites don't support all blockchains, for example. With this contract, you will also able to actually have a UI where you see who is approved for what and what amount,
Oh.
which
Wow.
is actually safer than having it in your wallet and you've forgotten that you have given
Permission.
allowance to someone.
Yeah, or allowance, or even that's great.
I mean, what I have to think about might be even some feature that we as admins could use, which would be that I run over all bank accounts. And for example, there was a hack and a lot of people approved access to their bank accounts because from another side, the UI was hacked, for example. Then we as an admin could maybe call a function that says, remove this allowance from all bank accounts.
That's like emergency stop measure.
It would be like an emergency stop. So, for example, if we know a lot of people got hacked that day, but the attacker haven't withdrawn yet. Sometimes it's more than half a year or longer until people actually get their funds stolen. Then we could remove the allowance and thereby maybe we could even add something like a blacklist function. So as soon as we know about it, then this wallet can't be whitelisted anymore, which would require the hacker to actually attack the UI again and change the wallet address so that now another person gets the allowance. So
yeah, smart stuff, Nico. This is quite innovative, very interesting, and can't wait to see it come to fruition, I suppose.
anyone else got any questions? I saw Gold Dog for a second unmuting his microphone.
Yeah, no, I just was going to say I really appreciated what you guys were talking about.
You like the Goldmint name drop? You like the Goldmint name drop?
Yeah, obviously I like that, but I'm really in. Nico and I have talked before, but with regard to the vaults and what you guys were discussing with the NFTs, I really personally believe in that utility of NFTs. I'm a physician, an ER doctor, so
that's why I talked about it.
Yeah, some of the references you guys gave are really prudent and real world and useful. So I really love the stuff like that. So no, I really appreciate what you guys were saying. I think this was a great talk.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, at some point, I will also go to you and some other people because I'm not into every business, into every sector, and I won't ever be and can't be. So I have to talk to people in certain business sector what helps them and partially also what is legal in what country. But I guess information like who is the organ donor or what medical I know that you are not allowed to give too much details about medical conditions and I know since yesterday someone told me in Germany you are not even allowed to make your own medical data public available, something like if you're an organ donor, which blood group you are, yeah, sure, that is fine. But it seems you're not allowed to say, for example, oh, I had, I don't know, cancer in whatever. You can talk about it, but you can't show like the medical what is it?
Medical records or data.
Yeah, the records,
Yeah,
and the doctor could sue you. But yeah, I mean, there are certain data that you are allowed to share, and that could be very useful in some emergency cases.
Oh my goodness, yeah. And you don't have to compromise somebody's privacy by being able to share that information and have it readily accessible. I mean, that's the thing. You mentioned something like a retinal scan, things like that. Those are what we call point of care tests that can give you information you need in an instant, whereas otherwise you might not be able to get it, like potentially not at all. So there's other utilities as well in the medical field. When you think about medications, right? There's often medication confusions, dosing errors. I think there's NFT applicability to that. I got to tell you guys, I do a lot of work in the medical cannabis space, right? So having products that are certified and in a certain way is really important, and sometimes it's really difficult. So again, I think there's potential utility there. So there's all sorts of utility all over the medical field, and I think that's, to me, that's what I love the most. Whenever you have practical applicability and utility for blockchain technologies, right? That's
And even
that.
like I was in veterinary science, like, which could also be applicable to that for in different ways and similar ways. Similar to medical records and things, but it might be easier to actually have on a blockchain or NFT because why would an owner know? If provided they had it from birth, why would they know or remember anything about their dog or cat? Why not just store it all on an NFT for them to actually use?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm not trying to steer this all towards the medical, but we have utility now. I don't even know what they call them. The Google glasses, the Apple glasses,
Oh yeah,
things like that,
but
where people's vital signs, the whole deal, everything is sort of popping up right in front of your eyes, real time. So to be able to potentially have information like that you could also access somebody's allergies, somebody's blood type. You know what I mean?
like
Emergency contacts.
archive data for like even like I remember you mentioning something about wine storage, having the actual data and like the time it was like, actually made and actual things and the actual statistics about it and all these things can actually be
Yeah,
tracked
yeah,
and very
yeah.
interesting stuff. And then those NFTs, like if it matches certain credentials, can give you access to other things. It lends itself to a lot of interesting uses.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. I think you guys did a really nice job of expressing that and displaying it for what it's worth.
well,
Yeah, and I hope I still will find more use cases, but
that's
when
what
time
Nico
comes, I
does.
will have to talk with a lot of sectors in the industry, because every project is talking about a use case of NFT, but no, it is not a use case. Even having it in your game isn't a real use case. I don't say that it is nice, because I actually love that now in a game. I played a lot of World of Warcraft. And sure, if you now your, I don't know, account gets hacked, or you leave the game, in theory, World of Warcraft Blizzard can sue you to that you want to sell your account because it's practically not yours. But if you really own your own stuff in a game, that is cool. And if you can really trade it, and that is cool. Or if you can bring one item from one game to another. But most times NFTs are, let me say, the most popular example. I know they also now made a coin and whatever, but I don't think they still have a use case, and I actually don't care really. Like Bored Ape Yacht Club. It's overhyped NFT JPEGs, and people buy it because they think they can resell it for a higher price. And there
Yeah.
was a guy that bought what first Twitter post for 20 million and then wanted to sell it, and the highest bid was
Duh.
3K, I guess, or something like that. So um, that is, and also having NFTs and then making them stakeable. Yeah, that isn't a real use case, because the use case has to exist outside of your own platform. It is like, oh, see, I invented this device, and the only thing it can do is communicate with this other device I created. And actually, they can just both communicate with each other, and they are not compatible with phones. And then I would say, yeah, why don't I just use a phone? So why do I stake NFTs? Can't I just stake tokens? And to invent NFTs so that they are then stakeable, it is just another way of letting you pay for letting you earn. It's not a use case. It's 100%, in my opinion, not a use case. A use case has exist outside of your own protocol and platform, and go beyond that. With games, it is something different because it is a utility token, but realistically, an NFT you buy to earn is a security token, and earning is not a use case. Even less if you have to buy something to earn something, because that is buy my token to earn something. That is no use case. That is every token. That is
Yeah. I mean, I have no more questions. I feel like this conversation, although there was a smaller audience, was really thoughtful and conducive to more questions and thoughts that people can kind of ruminate on. And with that, I don't have anything else to ask. We got any kind of closing remarks, Nico, unless you want to share something else?
Soon I will have more time, and then I hope that I will also be able to make more regular AMAs, or if I'm too bored, just in the evening hop into the AMA channel and just talk a little bit to myself or answer some questions, even if there's just one person that has a question, whatever. Also, I want to get more other projects in here to talk about their projects, and I will soon have way more time, and hope that I can also fill it with not fully coding, but sometimes also just with talking.
Yeah, and that's something I can help with. Yeah, for sure. Nico, thank you so much for taking your time out of your day and willing to discuss things with us.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Well done.
Thank you, Doc.
Then all have a nice evening, and I guess you can at least stop the recording.